Imagine this. You've done everything right. You've worked hard, invested wisely, and watched your portfolio grow. And now, after decades of saving, you're starting at a $4 million nest egg. That's a number most people only dream of. It feels like enough to finally stop working, enough to relax, enough to enjoy life without worrying about money ever again. But then, when the dust settles and the paychecks stop, another thought creeps in. How much of this can I actually spend each year? Because $4 million sounds like a lot until you start thinking about how long retirement can last. 25, maybe even 30 or even 35 years. Sounds like a lot until you factor in taxes, inflation, healthcare, market swings, and the fact that your lifestyle doesn't automatically shrink when your income does. That's when the questions begin. Do I live off the 4% rule? Is the $160,000 a year too much or not enough? What if the market crashes early in retirement? And how do I make sure my money lasts as long as I do? Those are the questions that keep even multi-millionaires up at night. Because the truth is, having $4 million doesn't automatically mean financial freedom. It means you've built the potential for it. But whether it lasts depends entirely on how you manage it from here. And that's what we're breaking down today. Exactly how to turn that $4 million into sustainable, tax-efficient income that supports your lifestyle without the fear of running out. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm the founder of Boss Budget Labs. And when it comes to retirement, one of the most common questions I hear is this: I've saved well, but how do I actually spend this money wisely? Because it's one thing to build a nest egg. It's another to know how you use it. Retirement planning isn't just about accumulation. It's about converting it into income that can last 25 to 35 years through market up and downs, inflation, and changing lifestyle needs. And the truth is, even those retiring with $4 million or more, the fear of outliving your money is real. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-world money advice. Now let's break down what $4 million actually means in retirement and how to turn it into a confident, sustainable income plan. Part 1. Why the 4% rule doesn't tell the whole story. The 4% rule is probably the most famous retirement formula. It says that if you withdraw 4% of your portfolio in your first year of retirement, then adjust that amount each year for inflation, your money should last roughly 30 years. So with $4 million, that means withdrawing about $160,000 a year. Sounds straightforward, but there's one problem. It was created in the 1990s during a period of high bond yields, low inflation, and strong market performance. That's not the world we live in anymore. Today, interest rates are unpredictable, inflation eats away at purchasing power faster, and people are living longer than ever before, well into their 90s. If you retire at 60 and live to 95, that's 35 years of withdrawals, not 30. And even a few bad market years early in retirement can dramatically shorten how long that $4 million lasts. That's called sequence of returns, risk, and it's the single biggest threat to retirees who depend on investment income. So instead of relying on one static withdrawal rate, the smarter approach is to use a flexible withdrawal strategy, one that adjusts based on market performance, tax efficiency, and spending needs. That's how you protect your wealth while still enjoying it. Part 2. Taxes, the silent wealth killer. Here's something most people overlook. Your $4 million isn't all yours. A good portion of it belongs to the CRA. The real question isn't, how much do I have? It's, how much do I get to keep after tax? Let's say your portfolio looks like this. $2 million in RRSPs, $1 million in TFSAs, $1 million in non-registered investments. Those accounts are taxed very differently. RRSPs are fully taxable when you withdraw. TFSAs are completely tax-free, and non-registered investments can be taxed more favorably if they produce dividends or capital gains. So two retirees with the exact same $4 million could have drastically different after-tax incomes depending on how their money is structured. If you withdrew $160,000 from an RRSP You might owe $40,000, $50,000 even, in tax. By coordinating which accounts you draw from and when, you can reduce taxes, smooth out your income, and make your money last years longer. Because in retirement, it's not about earning more, it's about keeping more. Part 3, the retirement spending curve. It's not flat. Most people assume they'll spend a fixed amount every year in retirement. But in reality, your spending changes often dramatically as you age. And that's what we call the retirement smile curve. In your early retirement years, say your 60s, you're active. You travel, renovate, help family, explore new hobbies. Spending tends to be higher. In your mid-70s, life slows down a bit. You travel less, your routine stabilizes, and your spending naturally dips. Then in your 80s and beyond, healthcare and assisted living costs can rise again. So if you build a plan around flat spending, you might underspend early when you could have enjoyed more, or overspend later when you need more stability. A smart plan adapts to these natural phases. Phase 1, 60 to 70, go-go years, higher spending. Phase 2, 70 to 80, slow-go years, stable spending. Phase 3, 80 plus, no-go years, healthcare-focused spending. A flexible withdrawal plan allows your income to rise or fall with these phases, because the goal isn't to be the richest person in the nursing home, it's to enjoy your life while you can, knowing your money will last. Part 4, the math behind sustainable withdrawals. Let's do some quick math. If you retire at 60 with $4 million and plan for 35 years of retirement, assuming a modest 5% average return and 2% inflation, a safe withdrawal rate might be closer to 3.5%, not 4%. That gives you around $140,000 per year in your early years, increasing gradually to keep up with inflation. Add in CPP, OAS, and possibly a small pension, and you might have total income of around $160,000 to $180,000 per year before tax. Now, could you take more? Possibly. If markets perform well, or if you plan to spend more early and less later, you could safely draw a higher amount for a few years. But the key is to stay flexible, adjusting based on performance, not sticking rigidly to a rule. That's what true financial independence looks like, knowing how to adapt, not just how to save. Part 5, turning $4 million into reliable income. The next challenge is making that $4 million produce consistent income, even when markets fluctuate. That's where the 3-bucket retirement income system comes in. Number 1, short-term bucket, 0 to 3 years, cash or high-interest savings for near-term expenses. This prevents you from selling investments during down markets. Number 2, mid-term bucket, 3 to 10 years, bonds, GICs, or conservative income funds designed to generate predictable returns. Number 3, long-term bucket, 10 plus years growth, assets like equities or ETFs that keep pace with inflation and fund your later years. When you draw income from your short and mid-term buckets during market downturns, your long-term assets have time to recover. And when combined with tax-smart withdrawal sequencing, it can help extend the life of your portfolio by a decade or more. That's how retirees turn market uncertainty into a calm, predictable income plan. Part 6, the real question: what lifestyle do you want? At the end of the day, this isn't just about numbers, it's about purpose. 2 people could retire with the same $4 million and live completely different lives. One might want a quiet, comfortable retirement with modest spending. The other might want to travel, gift to family, or pursue passion projects early on. Both can work, as long as the plan matches their priorities. Because true wealth isn't about how much you have, it's about using what you've built intentionally. That's why the question isn't just, how much can I spend? It's what I want my money to do for me. When you answer that, the math becomes a tool, not a limitation. So if you're looking at $4 million and wondering how much you can safely spend each year, the real answer depends on your taxes, your structure, and your goals. But one thing's certain, you can't rely on rules of thumb that you ignore your personal situation. You need a living plan, one that adjusts as your life markets, and income needs evolve. Because financial freedom isn't about a number, it's about clarity, strategy, and peace of mind. If you're ready to understand how to turn your $4 million into a reliable, tax-efficient income stream that lasts as long as you do, book a free call with my team using the link in the description below. Because retirement confidence doesn't come from having the most money, it comes from knowing exactly how to use it. Thank you for watching.